I know this might sound crazy, but self-improvement completely changed my life. Back in 2021, I was in the worst shape that I had ever been, mentally, physically, and emotionally. I was constantly getting sick, getting anxiety attacks, going to the doctors and hospitals for random issues. And even though my body was falling apart, I kept eating junk food, I never worked out, and I was still hanging around the wrong people. I'd spend nights out at clubs and bars, drinking, staying out late, and then I would just wake up the next day feeling empty. I had no direction. I was in college, but I still didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I wasn't confident at all. I just felt lost. And then one day I got really sick. Every time I would eat, I would feel nauseous. I would get intense anxiety. Like I felt like my heart was literally gonna fall out of my chest. And the only foods that I can handle were chicken, pretzels, crackers, and soup. I had to eat like that for 3 months. I remember my brother coming into my room and he asked me how I was doing. And with tears in my eyes, I just told him, I just want to feel normal again. He told me, just start going to the gym. It'll make you feel better. And I remember at the time, I was so mad. I was like, ain't no way. This guy just sees me literally struggling and he tells me, go to the gym. And at first I thought, how can that possibly help? But I trusted him, and honestly, I was willing to do anything to never feel like that ever again. And as soon as I got my energy back, I started going to the gym. I cleaned up my diet, and I was still going out with friends, but not as much as I was before. I didn't know where I was headed, but I knew who I wanted to become. I started watching self-improvement videos, and for the first time, I finally felt confident, and I finally felt like I can actually change my life. As time went by, I started getting hired on the spot for jobs, making new friends, getting attention that I've never received before. I felt unstoppable. Fast forward to 2024, I worked a couple jobs and I finally landed the one that I was studying for, which by the way, I forgot to mention, I did drop out of college during this process. So I was so surprised when I landed this job because I completely, literally did not even remember anything that I had studied for. And I told this to like my potential boss. I told her like, I don't remember anything that I studied for, but I really want this job. And I ended up getting hired on the spot. I thought I finally made it. But then I realized something. I wasn't happy. I was always so exhausted. So I slowly started skipping the gym. I started ordering food to the office. I was being a little bit more lenient with myself. And then I was always just looking forward to the weekend, to hanging out with my friends and having fun. I wasn't going out to clubs or bars anymore. I wasn't drinking, but I was still escaping, just in different ways. I was drifting again, just trying to ignore how unhappy I was with my life. Then New Year's hit. I looked back at 2024 and I realized I hadn't improved at all. This realization crushed me. My heart dropped. I was like, how did this happen? I was so disappointed in myself. But then I thought, I can't control what happened in the past, but I can control what I do next. So I started making a list and I realized I didn't like my job. My spirituality, I wasn't close to God. My physique, I didn't like my body. My environment, my friends were not helping at all. I first started with my physique. I realized that I really needed structure and accountability, so I hired a coach. For my career, I finally admitted that I hated my job. I didn't like it, and deep down, I knew I wanted to post on social media, but I had that fear of like embarrassment, people seeing my videos, people seeing my posts. So then I was like, okay, I need help with this. I need someone to take this fear out of me. And so then I hired a coach for that as well. But this should really show you how tired I was of just being the same. And the way I thought is like, nothing changes if nothing changes. Eventually, I quit my job. It was just draining me so much and keeping me from being the person that I wanted to become. For my spirituality, I started trusting God more. I started putting Him first in everything I do. And that honestly was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I feel so much more alive now that I have faith that everything will be okay. And no matter what route I take and no matter where I go, as long as I am with Him, it's all going to be okay. For my environment, I cut off every friend, that was distracting me from the person that I needed to become. And here we are, 2025. My physique is the best it has ever been. I completed one of my vision boards earlier this year, and now halfway through the year, around like September, October-ish, I made another one, and it's already almost halfway complete. For the first time in my life, I feel clear, I feel aligned, and I have never felt this sense of purpose before. I realize that self-improvement isn't all about habits or routines. It's also about being the kind of person that doesn't give up on themselves. Because once you see who you are capable of being, there's no going back. Self-improvement gave me my life back, and now it's my purpose to help you do the same. I want to be the woman that I didn't have, the one that shows you that it's possible. This is just the beginning. So subscribe, and then one day you'll be able to say you were here before it started. Bye!